CMD Bank of Maharashtra for the first time at this forum. Sir, on behalf of FICCI, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to you. A professional banker with more than 3 decades of experience in banking, Mr. Munod took over as the Chairman and Managing Director, Bank of Maharashtra in 2013. Prior to joining the bank, he was the CMD of SIDBI, and prior to that, he held the positions of ED of IDBI Limited and MD and CEO of IDBI Capital Market Services Limited. We host this conclave at an interesting time where we have a new
technology in getting the growth for the economy, for the banks, and everything else. So to understand that, first and foremost, I think it is absolutely important for us to understand what is changing in terms of the overall demographics as well as the expectation. We call this era as the customer's era, right? There was an internet era, there was an era for manufacturing, there's an era for something else. This is actually an era for customer expectation. It's the customer experience era. And I say this because if you think about your own status, everything has changed in your own world. 5 years ago, you wouldn't be using as much SMSs and WhatsApps and emails and the technology, the way you use it today, the smartphones, what has revolutionized the way we live on a day-to-day basis and the way we are connected to people. And with that, the expectations are also changing in terms of what is an instant service. Instant in this world, we call it as an on-demand. Right? Everything has to be on-demand. When I want it, I should have it. There is no theme of I will wait for it, I will go and look for it. It is all become on-demand. And to the point where it is annoyingly on-demand. Where you say I want to actually go out to the bank and I want to get my, I want to go withdraw money. You want to know the closest ATM right now, where it is, right now. If there is a way that your phone can actually manufacture money and give it to your hand, that's probably what you want. It's become, life is moving at that faster pace.
Like, you can say the new growth agenda. And I think a lot of things have been happening. A lot of changes that we have seen in the last maybe few months or a few days. And what is the role of the banks and the financial sector in this? So what I would like to take up is that maybe let's have first a look at what has happened in the macroeconomic situation over the last few years. What has been the change today which we are seeing in the current macroeconomic situation? And how do we go forward from here? What is the role of the banking sector in general, maybe more specifically the public sector banking, and then maybe we can go down to the role of Bank of Maharashtra, how do we take it forward? Coming to that, I'll say the last few years have been, I think, grossly challenging. Challenging in terms of the world economy, which has been facing very tough times in the last few years. And the world economy is also linked to the Indian economy by way of both trade flows and by way of investment flows. And all these have also impacted, along with our own internal factors, such that it's been quite a difficult period for the Indian economy. And we also know anything, whatever happens to the economy, ultimately is also going to mirror in the banking system. So the banking system has been facing significant challenges in the last few years. Let us look at how things have panned out in the last few years. The government of India has been quite keen on development, and they decided to focus on one of the very important needs of the country, mainly of developing the infrastructure. And the public sector banking system went full speed ahead in terms of supporting this infrastructure push. Somehow down the line, what happened that we had quite a lot of infrastructure projects being announced, being taken up, started, being under completion, whatever various things, and on the various kinds of different, you can call it on the different projects on the infrastructure side. The important thing then happened was a lot of them got stuck up for various reasons. Something moved for some reason or the other, whether it was an environmental reason, whether it was a raw material reason, whether it was a coal reason, whether it is any other kind of a reason. But let's not go into those reasons, but finally we found that a lot of these infrastructure projects were somewhere stuck in the either midway or they were not working to the full capacity utilizations. Now all this impacted the sector, and you find that for the banking we found a lot of NPA getting generated in that sector.